What is up, everybody? My name is Jack Billings, and I am the CEO and founder of Shed Knives. Today, I have with me the 2023 Shed Knives Sheepsfoot here in Skewer Orange with this beautiful G10 scale set here, along with the CPM 154 blade. So let's go ahead and get into this knife here. This is brand new as of 2023 for the release on February 1st. So we have a few different colors behind me, and I'll get into those here later. But let's get into a few notable features here of this knife. First off, it's a pretty good sized knife. Just looking at it, it's a nice size. The handle looks good. The blade has a nice belly on there. It's got a hollow grind. My inspiration for this style blade here was from the Scandi grind, but all my machines were set up for a hollow grind, so I figured let's do a shorter hollow compared to some of the 2022 models where they had that higher grind up there. So I wanted to lower the grind but keep the hollow because it works really well. Helps with that edge there, so it works really well. And by the way, this is just my sample knife here. This is not the sharpened version, so it just keeps everybody a little bit safer during photos and videos. But it's a nice knife there, nice blade. And we see here it has a sharpening choil right there, so really nice feature there. So when it comes down to sharpening, you have that stop there. And I was actually looking at how the sharpening choil came about, and it was so you could sharpen all the way down to the spine there, or sharpen all the way down pretty much where your hand comes up to, and it separates the handle from the blade. So cool feature there. And you can see there's a little bit of sharpening mark there, and you can tell this is a working knife here. But also the sharpening choil has been used so you could sharpen at night, and you could feel actually where the blade ends and where the rest of the knife begins. So I thought that was interesting that people would be using this to sharpen at night. So I thought that was cool. If we go to the top of the blade here, we have some nice jimping right there that allows you to really choke up on that blade and get to cut in there. You also have a nice angle here working for you that you can carve, you can whittle, whatever you need to do. That's going to help there. I didn't want to put it too far back because usually the only time you need jimping is when you're really getting into something. You're stabbing, you're maybe skinning some game, you're whittling like I just said. So I moved it up slightly because that's when you'll really need it, where just doing everyday tasks you don't need it super far back. So really nice design there. Moving to the handle, we have 3 bolts there, 3 screws on the other side. What is cool about these here, which I actually have a screwdriver here, we'll take one of these off, is these 3 screws here. You only need 2. That's the thing. But I put a third one in there for 2 reasons. So, reason number 1, you can use these with your Kydex sheath. They use the same exact screws. Might be kind of tough to see on the black gloves there, but you can use these for your Kydex. So if you lose a screw, one breaks, something happens, you just pull it right out of the knife and you attach that clip again, and it's still going to function. It's still going to work just fine. No issues are going to happen with this because it's just really sturdy there. So really nice build there. Also, the 3 screws, almost dropped that. The 3 screws here also represent the 3 founders of Shed Knives here. So I've been keeping that going since the very start, where we were doing wood handle knives, which you can see right there. And so the wood handle knives, they always have 3 pins, so I figured same thing with the G10. You just do the 3 screws as well. Also, that lanyard hole in the back is pretty helpful. It's a 1/2-inch lanyard hole. So if you saw one of the other videos where we put some of the tough rope, some of the thick rope, stuff like that. Really performed well and really makes it easier for the user. And then also we see something different compared to some of the 2022 models. We have this kind of pointy back here. It's not completely rounded, but I call it like a soft point. So it's not sharp, it's not gonna hurt you right away. It's just when you apply pressure to something, maybe you got a cracked glass, something like that, this is what you'd use it for. So it's just a nice blunt point there for whatever you'd use that for. And yeah, so pretty cool design there. And it rounds up, so if you have larger hands and your hand sits at the back there, just like that, it is round compared to getting a point in the back of the hand there. That is not something you want. So took that into consideration with the design. So nice design there. And also the point here, let's talk about that. So this is not your standard sheepsfoot model. Standard sheepsfoot looks something like this or like that. So the sheepsfoot, it's got a different look, but Shed Knives chose to do something a bit different with the sheepsfoot. Chose to put our own spin to it. Quite honestly, we weren't sure what to name this style knife back in 2018. And came up with this design and said, you know, the sheepsfoot is popular. This is going to be a popular knife. It's called the sheepsfoot. So that's how it came about. But the point is very important, because if we look here, you can see it's a somewhat thick point, but with that blade on there, it's quite sharp. And have this, instead of just coming all the way up, soft point, put that indentation there, or that cutout, so when you go to puncture through something, it's not going to break as easily compared to having a much pointier point. So you can still use this, you can still use the functional point there, it's just going to hold up a lot better. So stay tuned for some testing videos here coming in the next several weeks, and I'll be very excited to, of course, test these knives out, like some tough use, which you'll see, but also just to really show the performance of the knife, so I'm excited for that. Now, the 6 colors offered, we have Scure Orange, as you see here, Neon Yellow, or Day Glow here, that's the official name, Day Glow, Tiffany Blue, Coyote Tan, OD Green, and Black. So these are all interchangeable parts here. So if you wanted black on the other side, you could take this off, put the black on. The screws are going to fit equally. So just a nice setup there, nice option for you. So if you want any of these scales, the links are in the bottom for the sheepsfoot. So pretty cool design there. And I also forgot to mention that it does have the stonewash on there. Might not look like it, but up close you do see a nice stonewash finish, so looks really good. I'm impressed with this, and it will only get better as we move through 2023. So I also, my last thing I want to mention here is the handle. You can see my gloves are actually like coming apart on the handle. This thing is, it's actually got a lot of texture on there, so it might look smooth, and it is smooth. Like, I can use it without gloves, it's just fine. It's just got that extra texture there, since all of this is done by hand, all the grinds, everything's done by hand. Used a higher, or I guess technically a lower grip belt, 36 grip belt on this here, so opens up the G10 to allow some texture, but not enough where you might get splinters or stuff from the G10, so you won't be worried about that. If you want to make this smoother, you can put some lubricant like a WD-40 or a Ballistol on it, and it actually smooths it up very good. So you can see the slight difference there, so it actually makes it very smooth. Not that your hand will slip out of it, but it's pretty smooth there. And yeah, so nice design. But yeah, so that's the 2023 Sheepsfoot. If you like this knife here, go ahead and head to shedknives.com or click the link down below here in the description, where you can get this knife for yourself, or maybe one of your friends, family, whoever you know. I'm sure they would enjoy the 2023 Sheepsfoot. So thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you in the next video.